Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to go over a lecture called Breaking Intergenerational Trauma. I believe this is important for the entire class. This came out kind of organically in that we went over and read The Best That We Can Do by T. Boo, but students, they kept crying, they kept talking about their own family. I was talking about my own family, and we really realized that, hey, we all have intergenerational trauma, and it would be helpful for us to try to break these generational curses. So this is the off topic, but also on topic to our class. We're gonna kind of work through, take what you want, and if it doesn't resonate with you, leave it and let it go. First of all, healing intergenerational traumas. Now, number one, a very wise person once said, manage yourself or someone's gonna manage you. What does that mean? Well, it means if you don't understand yourself, and someone's going to manipulate you, right? Now, in order to understand yourself, you got to probably understand your family and what your family went through for the last 3 or 4 generations, or even 6 generations before you. So, number one, learn your own family history. If you don't know your family history, whew, that's going to be tough because people are going to manipulate you. You got to know your family's strengths and weaknesses and where you can improve. And you can do it by too talking with your family. Also, maybe even forgiveness. You know what? They're not going to change. Let them. Okay, there's actually a bestseller book now by I think Meryl Brown. It's called Let Them. They're never going to change, but you need to keep going on. So the only way, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Forgive them and keep going. Number four, figure out how to heal your own traumas. Probably therapy, maybe lots of other therapies. I think it should be, if you're the most important person to yourself, it's up to you to find all the modalities that are perfect for you to heal yourself. Also, five, conscious effort to move beyond your mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all say the wrong thing. We all have blanked up, right? You know that. But we got to move beyond it. We got to learn from it. That's data. Nothing is bad. Everything's data for you to improve yourself later. And again, you know what? There's nothing we can do about our parents. They're not changing. You know that's true. I have to go through the trauma of kind of like my parents will never be loving. They're PTSD people, and I love them, but my father will never be a nice person, and my mother will never hug me or my father, and that's just how it is. I gotta accept it. I can't pine away my whole life for something that's never gonna happen. Number seven, realize it's a process. You're not fully formed. I'm not fully formed. They've even interviewed people in their 80s. They're like, everything's new to me. And they're 80, right? So again, it's a process. Okay. And again, I've never been through a war or a genocide, but I believe all our ancestors have been through wars and genocides and the most heinous things. We gotta go through it. We gotta learn from it and how it affects our genes. There's a really good research called epigenetics where they look over Holocaust survivor grandkids and how even though they themselves didn't go through the Holocaust and their parents didn't go through the Holocaust, but they're full of all this like disease, depression, anxiety from the Holocaust. So again, you got to move through it and heal yourself. So again, back to learning about your family history and how they dealt with it, right? Also, be conscious of your faults and do not reproduce them. And this is again, we did this in class. We came together as a class to what can we do to like get rid of this intergenerational trauma. And another thing was accept. Traveling back to your homeland, listen to your parents tell you stories, not undermining your own experiences. Don't compare. They say the thief of joy is comparison with someone else. You just compare yourself to yourself from yesterday. That's it. And don't be comparing your number two to someone's number 55. Okay. You don't know what the privileges they have, right? Behind the doors. You just don't know. So don't even compare yourself. It's a foolish thing. Also, make an effort to create a different future. Yes, lots of bad things happened, and they happened to you. And guess what? A lot generation ago, lots of inequality happened as well. And in the future, presently and now, there'll be inequality. But we're going to make conscious effort for ourselves to actually make a difference, a future for ourselves. Okay. And another thing to help in terms of intergender trauma is journaling, writing. Those are things that no one has to see. You write yourself. You write to yourself when you're 5 years old to comfort yourself. And I think that's really important. Okay. And to some extent, I always think don't let yourself get disrespected. If you have the chance, walk away from these traumas, say not today and write it all and then burn it. Write it on a piece of paper and burn it because I think it's important to let go of your traumas. And again, don't live in isolation. Being by yourself sometimes can make you feel sad. You know what? Get in community. We're not one person. Actually, we're made up of all the people that touched us. And just like we touch other people, volunteer, get out there. There's people who need help. You can, or even just donate money. This is something that you can do to help your own self. And number 20, practice and process your emotion. Let those emotions loose and let them go. If you're feeling trauma, I want you to take 5 to 10 shoulder rolls to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I want you to do 10 shoulder rolls in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, dancing, music, turn on music right now. Start dancing. Okay. These are all things that help you with trauma. Okay. Practice and process your emotions. Talk yourself out of it. If you're going to hurt yourself, no, you're going to say, I'm going to get better. My ancestors had it worse. This is not something new. And just like they survived, we'll survive. And if you have a Moai, which is a Japanese friendship group, and if you don't have a Moai, create a Moai, go live in community. Okay. And I think supporting others who are going through traumatic events also can also heal you, such as, giving them money or something. Okay. Or just volunteering some time, just showing up to events. That makes a big difference. Also, letting go of grudges. Those people are not going to change. Let them. Let them. They're not going to change. Okay. But what's going to change is is your response to them. Okay. And question the things that you do. Like, are you doing it just because of its like tradition? Maybe it's not good for you. Okay. If you are drinking or doing drugs, maybe it's not good for you. Maybe it's not, maybe you've seen your community or your father, or mother drink a lot of alcohol. Maybe it's not good for you. Maybe it's step away. Okay. Instead, cope in healthy ways. Take walks, be in nature, look up every single day into the sky, hug a tree, high five a tree. And again, just because other people do it, you can avoid drugs. Okay. And most importantly, and I think really important to help you, read books. Read about other people's struggles who struggle just as much as you. And what is miraculous is that, for all the trauma we've gone through, I know that someone else has gone through, multiple people have gone through the same trauma and written a book about it. So there's multiple people who've written a book about the trauma that you are going through right now. Okay. And that's the cool thing about that. And that you can heal yourself by reading about other people's trauma. It doesn't have to directly mirror yours, but there's some aspects, such as the best that we can do. T Boo goes through the ringer, right? But guess what? I believe if you read the book, The Best Thing We Can Do, I believe that she can help you, even though it's not exact. It's similar. So again, other things is I highly recommend that you go walking. Japanese people call it nature bathing. Crying even, cry it out. Scream it out. Allow yourself to feel and heal. Okay? It's the only way. Patience and compassion for yourself. You only could do as much as your capacity at that time. Let it go. Stop beating yourself up. Okay. Maybe talking about it, asking questions. These are all things that will help you. And again, I highly recommend that you try meditation and yoga. Work out your brain health. Praying is helpful. Eating food with other people, cooking for other people. Garden like they did for Cal State LA, where they had all those Cambodian genocide elders who just literally couldn't talk with words to how they processed it. But you know what they did? They gardened together, they ate together. Maybe you could do that. And again, look for five people to surround yourself with as they are you, the five people who are around you. So again, these are all different ways of dealing with intergenerational trauma. Please watch Kristen Lee's class shared book about intergenerational trauma, about her mom has OCD. It has probably something to do with the Vietnam War. Okay, so again, I want you to find your calling, okay? And that's a way to find your intergeneration, to fight your intergenerational trauma. What are you good at? What is your mission? What's your profession? What's your vocation? What you can you be paid for? And what are you good at? And what the world needs. So it's called Ikigai, okay? Find your Ikigai, guys. Find your Ikigai. So have a wonderful day.